Good evening, my friends. I'm Nero, and welcome. Today, we are not going to phone it in. You've probably noticed lately that my thumbnails have been a little lackluster. That's because I've been very quick and lazy with them. I have simply been using my mouse, slapping together something on a canvas, and saying, yep, that's a thumbnail. It arguably conveys what's going on. And I've been trying to use darker colors because it's Spooktober. But that doesn't really fairly convey what I'm actually doing. So today's video is going to be fairly conveying what I actually do. And I wanted to do a thumbnail of me making a thumbnail, so we're going to do a recursive thumbnail. Anyway, without further ado, this is somewhat of my process. I'm sure there are faster ways, more streamlined ways, better ways, but this is the way I do it. That doesn't mean it's perfect, doesn't mean it's great, just means it's the way I do it right now. So, I use Clip Studio Paint. At the time, it was one of the best contenders against Photoshop because Photoshop, as you know, has a very strong subscription-based concept. And if you cancel your subscription, end your subscription for any reason, like you lose access to pretty much everything. You can't do anything with any of your files anymore. At the time, when I got it, Clip Studio Paint was being praised for what it does, which is non-subscription based. You buy it and then you have it. And honestly, if they went back to that model with some of their newer updates, that would be fine with me too. They are moving to a subscription-based model because of course they are. Everyone and their dog is moving to a subscription-based model. I'm going to drop myself lower a little bit. Make sure that didn't put me completely out of frame. No, we're still good. We're listening to some lo-fi beats, Halloween lo-fi radio, spooky beats to spook to get chills to, sorry. Anyway, so sometimes I will freehand it, sometimes I will, what's called rotoscope my thumbnails, which is when you start with a picture and you do some of the basic outlining and then you fill it in yourself. Today I wanted to see kind of how things played out and figure we would just kind of, go as we go. I don't always use the grid on this. Sometimes I do, but sometimes it just is distracting. Because that is a picture of my hand holding my stylus ready to draw. I use a bunch of layers because if you make a mistake on one layer, you can fix it pretty easily, whereas if you do everything on the same layer, it doesn't always work great. This has been a long month, my friends. I have been enjoying it, but I am ready for back to any sort of normalcy. We're going to go ahead and give ourselves a slightly lighter background. Typically, I've been doing for all of my Spooktober pictures, I've been doing a black background because it's spooky. Also, it's a style different than I usually do. You know what? We're going to stick with that. We're going to stick with the black background. I changed my mind. That's why you use layers. You can change your mind really easily. And yeah, I use a variety of different pens and brushes and stuff. Some days I just kind of go for, I just kind of make it up as I go. And I know it's not always perfect, but that's okay. Doesn't have to be. Sorry, got a little distracted there. Messages pinging up. So what I want to do is I want to convey this shape onto a canvas. So I've done a lot of lessons and whatnot. Watched a lot of videos, but I do want to kind of do this as a bony thing. Because if I was doing this the way I should be, what we're just gonna make that visible. What we would be doing is we'd do the mass of the hand, which is over here. We'd do that, and then we'd acknowledge that there's a thumb mass here, and then we would do the thumb masses from there, And there's our thumb mass. That's what we do, and we acknowledge that this is where the knuckle is. Do tubes, joints, tubes, joints, tubes. That's kind of how that goes, which is a process. And then there's actually just a bunch of pebbly stuff bone-wise here, and then it's your arm. And see, that is a pretty good rendition of a hand. If we take away our picture, yeah, I mean, that's arguably a hand. And you got to do it for some of the other stuff too. You got muscles there, and you've got you got another finger down here. Turns out you have more than one of them. And yeah, just paying attention to where things go. Because see, this finger ends up here, which is different. That's fine. I have been playing around a lot with a lot of different styles, so we're going to do that while we go here too. But right now I'm just going to rotoscope in a skeletal kind of bony hand shape, which is kind of what I'm going for. Nope, that's it's important to go slow and steady and go at the pace you're comfortable with, which I tend to rush things, and that's not ideal, as it turns out. I'm trying to get better about that. You know, just slowing down, taking my time, really enjoying the process. And see, we don't have to go too crazy far here. But then we need to remember that there are other fingers. I watched a lot of Draw with Jazza when I first started doing art, which is now just Jazza. Great guy for learning how to do art. If you haven't checked that out, if you're wanting to learn how to do art and whatnot, he's got a lot of amazing videos. And now he just kind of does his own thing, and more power to him from it. But one of the tutorials he did was on fingers. And the thing he harped on was smooth tops and bumpy bottoms, which was how the fingers go. You got straight lines on the top, and then underneath is the mass of the actual finger. So you can knock out, you know, a couple fingers just really pretty easily like that. And that's one of the reasons I loved watching his stuff and learning from his. Because see, I'm not very good. I know I'm not very good. And that's okay. I don't have to be perfect. But it made me feel like I could do stuff. And then yeah, look at that. Pretty quick, easy. I knocked out a hand. Look at that. It's almost like I know what I'm doing, but I don't. I'm just a guy with stuff who does things. Doesn't mean I know anything. You got the heel of the hand. But yeah, is it perfect? No, but I made it. I did it. I knocked it out really quick. And learning more and doing more is important. We're just gonna clean this all up really quick. If I had put it on a different layer, we could have left it. It's fine though. Today I think I'm just gonna do a nice little simple pencil sketch because I like the way just a good pencil sketch looks. But barring a good pencil sketch, just a pencil sketch, you know. Then in here, we're going to have some bones. I am also using references. I just looked up bone hand on Google. And guess what? It turns out it'll just show you bone hands. So, and with a basic understanding of anatomy, it'll actually go pretty well for you. Unfortunately, I don't have a basic understanding of anatomy. I don't really have a good understanding of anatomy at all, but that's okay. What could we use spooky for a pen? Maybe a quill? Yeah, we could do like a quill. That would be fun. We'll do a nice little like poignant feather quill. Yeah. You know what? You know what we're gonna do for that quill? We're gonna put that on a different layer. And that's part of why I wanted to do this process with you guys, is so you can see that it's not super simple, but it's not super complicated. It's just it's difficult to do with quality, especially if you're not very good. But it turns out you can just do things. Like, if you wanted to make a YouTube channel and do YouTube, you can just do that. I know a guy who's doing that very same thing. And we're gonna add some more stuff to it, but this is giving us a basic premise of what we're going for. Yeah. Just a basic understanding. I'm trying to do better about talking while I work. I like to just fill the entire silence. The reason I do that is because if I do it well enough, then I don't have to do as much editing, which is nice. I don't know if you know this, but I'm not wild about having to do editing. I know editing makes my content a little better, especially when I'm doing collabs, and I'm trying to do okay with that. I'll try a nice broad colored pencil for this. Maybe design pencil, I don't know. And see, that's part of what I do, is I just switch it up, use different stuff. Rough pencil. I don't know. What does a rough pencil look like? We're gonna find out. But yeah, I experiment. I experiment a lot with my style, with my concepts. Heck, this Spooktober has been an experiment, lest we forget. That I thought, hey, what if I go into this with having pretty much no idea of what I'm doing? You know, we can use pastels. Give us a good texture. But yeah, what if I went into this with no real idea of what I was going to try to do? What if I just kind of made it up as I went? No plan, no layout, nothing. Just me, a couple dozen games, some friends, and a webcam. And here we are. Here we are. Making stuff, drawing stuff, doing stuff. It's great. Yeah, we're gonna go back to this. We're gonna go back to our mechanical pencil. And we're gonna go back to our bone layer. Yeah. But I have been enjoying Spooktober being different this year. I know for some people they would rather I did things a little differently, and that's fine. But I am grateful to have had the opportunity to do things in a novel way for me. See, I'm struggling with how I want it to look. One of the better pieces of advice I saw that I have not been following this time is when you're drawing, don't erase. Don't undo. I've not been following that, but it makes you slow down. It makes you try to be more precise with what you're making and be more content with what you've created. Now, obviously, I'm not going to do that, but, you know, if you're doing it, you probably should. We'll cover all this up later, but for right now, it's good to know that there's bone joints and such in here. Just lots of little pieces. Pieces and parts. That's all we really are. It's just lots of little pieces and parts. Okay, yeah, I'm liking the look of this. I could show the cracks from when I broke my finger. Yeah. Yeah, broke my finger at one of my previous jobs. Basically caught the tip of my finger between a piece of expanded metal and a piece of steel, and it was like a kind of like a guillotine. Didn't take anything off except the thumbnail, but man, it was not great. Trying to get this just right. Just right. Ever so just right. So yeah, if it seems like some of my stuff has been kind of haphazard lately, this is why. It's because it's kind of an ordeal to do it in a more elaborate way. I have a friend that I don't talk too much, but he does a lot of art as well. I don't know that he's any better, but his style's a little different. And that's one of the more important things to recognize, is that your style of whatever you're doing, whether it's art or whether it's making videos, whether it's making music, whether it's writing, your style is not going to be the same as somebody else's. And it's not necessarily that one's better than the other. It's not necessarily that any's worse than the other. It's just different. I know some of the other YouTubers I play with, they've got very different styles in what they produce, and that doesn't mean any of us are better than the others. It just means we got different styles. Speaking of videos, and speaking of doing things with other people, what are you doing on Wednesday? If you have been following along my channel, you know I've alluded to it a couple times, and I've mentioned it to a couple other people on some of our gameplay videos. But Wednesday, the 30th, Wednesday, October 30th, 2024, that is going to be our kind of last hurrah, our celebration, our farewell, if you will. We're still going to have a video on the 31st, but that one's going to be more from me. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. I have some ideas, but the 30th is when you can participate. Because the 30th, I am going to put on some Jackbox party games, and we're going to Jackbox party like it's October 30th, 2024. The reason I'm doing that is because I have not done that yet. That is not something I have done yet. And I'll be honest, it scares the snot out of me to open up my feed to the general public. I don't know how many of you are actually going to show up. I don't know if any of my co-video makers, my fellow YouTubers, I don't know how many of them are going to be able to show up. But hopefully some of them. We'll put this behind this because that's where, well, no, let's put it. Ooh, let's, because it needs to go over that, but this needs to go over that. There we go. That's what we needed to do. That's what we needed to do. I don't know who all's going to be there. I don't. And that's scary. It's very scary to open up what you're making like that. I don't know that I want the grid anymore. Changed my mind. Since we're mostly rotoscoping this, you know, we'll make it go behind that. Yeah, there we go. I do use a art glove to prevent smudging. Smudging. It actually makes it easier for my hand to slide on the tablet. You know what? I don't think we need that there. There we go. We might darken this. I haven't decided. Yeah. But I'm reasonably happy with how this is turning out. In fact, we can just go back over with a darker pen. Accentuate some of these bits and bobs. Some of the furls. Oh, I know I make weird faces while I'm doing this. You have to forgive me. Or don't, I don't care, really. There aren't quite that many folds. There we go. You know what? We can refer to all layers. There we go. And it's shift to add other things. Yeah, there we go. Nope, that's the wrong one. Marker, mill pin, there we go. So yeah, when I'm like, yeah, I haven't done a thumbnail for you guys yet, or my thumbnails have been a little rough. This is why, because it's a process, a pretty elaborate process involving lots of touch-ups and detail work and whatnot. And it's not that I don't enjoy. It's not that I don't enjoy art. That's the biggest thing. It's not that I don't enjoy the art I make. It's not that I don't enjoy making art. It's that I am the one recording my videos. I am the one editing my videos. I am the one doing my thumbnail on every single video. And I enjoy it. It is a lot of work, as it turns out. It is a lot of work. And it would be one thing if this was my full-time job. This is not my full-time job. This is just something I do for fun. Forget how much I like drawing on a black background. If you're having art problems, I feel bad for you, son. But no, try switching up what you're doing. If you have been doing art purely with pencil and paper, try getting on like MS Paint or something, or Paint.net. Hey, if you're looking for a good open source program, GIMP is good. Paint.net, fantastic. Both very good. I use those when I'm not using Clip Studio Paint. I use Clip Studio Paint because it is pretty robust and versatile for what I do. You can do just about everything I'm doing here with either GIMP or Paint.net. Paint.net, open source, free. GIMP, free. Yeah. Get you in one of those. Or if you do a lot of digital art, I don't know, maybe try some more conventional styles. Maybe go get you some oil paints, canvas. Oh, maybe pop your back like I've been trying to do all freaking day. Oh no, not calligraphy. Mapping pen. See, and don't be afraid to look up reference images. Quill pen. Tip. Yeah, okay. So I'm not completely crazy. It does have a sharp point, but it also, okay, it's also one thing. All right. G pen, figure this out. Okay. Now watch. This is gonna be magical. Instantly, now it's a quill. Cool. And now I'm gonna make this. Perfect. And yeah, okay. Yeah, very carefully, just like so. Yeah, I like the way that's looking. And now what we can do is we can take these three, put them in a folder. If I remember how to move stuff around. There we go. Now, why are we doing that, you ask? Well, there's a reason for that. Now, I didn't even show you, I do vector work as well. It depends on the day whether I do it or not. And that's okay. Oh, you know what? I'm not done though. Which one of these is the bones? This is the bones. Bones. We're not done with bones yet. Not done with bones. As it turns out, there are bones in your arms. Look at my reference image again. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that looks a little better. Erase that a little bit. Okay. Yeah. Are you spooked yet? Okay. I don't want to freak you out. There is a skeleton inside of you. Okay, fine. You probably already knew that. Anybody else remember the big deal with, like, Got Milk? It was in the, gosh, must have been late 90s, early aughts. Because they did all those advertisements with, like, the Nintendo 64, Super Mario, whatnot. Am I crazy? No, like, I swear, because, like, they showed Mario drinking milk, and then he got super huge, even though that was more the trait of the level and everything. It was a whole thing. But yeah, no, that was weird. Like, that was weird, guys, right? That was weird. Almost as weird as somebody talking about it a lot. So I'm putting more texture on this one than I did some of the others, and that's because I want to denote that there is a hole in between them. Okay, we're gonna actually use that curve. Yeah. This is probably the kind of texture I should be doing for all of it. So we're gonna. Why not? And we're gonna make our eraser smaller. And we're gonna make it smaller. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, and a lot of it's just figuring out what the shape of the thing you're working on is and following that shape. I have really been enjoying the spooky seasonal stuff that a lot of different things are doing. Remember when we were playing Ship of Fools with Danny and found out that Discord is has all sorts of spooky sounds? That was fun. Spooky lo-fi. There's spooks everywhere. Boo! Ha ha! See? Spook right there. It's a really creepy guy on the screen right now. And I know this doesn't look perfect. I wasn't going for perfect. I was going for, hey, I haven't done a proper thumbnail in a while. We should do a proper thumbnail. And I should show you guys what doing a proper thumbnail means to me. Because I like doing these. I do like doing these. Even when they're a lot of work. I do enjoy, especially when it turns out well. There are times that part of the reason I do it is because it's not turning out well. I get frustrated, I get annoyed that this thing isn't turning out the way I want. And I don't feel like uploading it. I don't feel like sharing what I see as a failure. But then I remember part of why I'm doing this channel, which is to show that, hey, doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be done. Like, it does not have to be great. You don't have to do perfection with everything. Yeah, we're going to try smudging it a little bit. Are we? I haven't decided. Hold on. I can do something. Decide. See, I don't like I'm doing like that, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to duplicate that. Everything's going to get a lot more vivid for a minute. All right. Yeah, let's try just smudging stuff and seeing how that turns out. At least smudging the interior. Yeah. And then we can decide after if we want to keep it or if we want to go back to the way it was. Yeah. I'm not hating this. Now, we will also talk about a little bit about I'm not going to get everything done this year for Spooktober that I wanted. And that's okay. I didn't have to get everything done that I wanted. There are some things I wanted to do that I don't think it's going to happen. Little sad, little bummed, a little frustrated, but as with everything in life, you can plan as much as you want. And that's part of why I wanted to do this without a plan. Because real life is going to have its own ideas of what's going to happen. Like, oh, your dog's going to eat something he shouldn't, and you're going to have to take him to the vet and spend 5 hours at the vet to make sure he's okay. By the way, those of you asking, he's okay. He's been in timeout a lot lately because we want to make sure that he doesn't eat more pills. But he's otherwise healthy. Every bit as active and rambunctious as he was before. So yes, he's doing well. Thank you for checking. But yeah, that and then family health things that I'm not going to talk about because it's not something you need to worry about. And then, yeah, it turns out when you have a full-time job and real life catches up to you and you're like, oh, I have to make time somewhere. In addition to, other activities, I don't, in the same way that some other YouTubers that I'm associated with, they don't talk about it themselves a lot, which is why I think it's important to draw attention to their philanthropic activities. But that's because they won't brag about themselves. I also am not going to brag about myself. Because people don't need to know. Like, that's not why I do this. I'm not doing it for accolades or anything like that. We're just doing it for fun, for funsies, for a laugh, for a lark, if you will. Oh, we were doing good up until that. There we go. Yeah. What you think? Does that look like a skeleton hand? I think it looks like a skeleton hand. Finer tip! I'm actually really happy with how this is turning out. I wasn't sure how well this was going to turn out, but yeah, I'm happy with it, which is a rare thing for me. And here's the best part: once I fix the audio and get the audio rendered, I already have a thumbnail for this video. It's already done. That might have factored into my decision to do it this way today. But you know what? Still counts. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Because lest we forget, skeletons are skeletal. And so we can just kind of smudge this around and make it look a little more bony. Nice and bony. Yeah. Yeah, that's the ticket. Yeah. This is what a lot of it is just you have to meticulously go through everything. You have to very meticulously go through everything. Over and over and over again. Are there better ways of doing this? Are there different ways of doing this? I'm sure there are. I don't know them. I only know the way I do it. And it turns out you can just do things the way you do them and see how they turn out. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. I am really enjoying the music though. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do any cutting with this video. I will tell you that right now. Sometimes I'll cut out some dead silence. Sometimes I will, you know what, we're going to put a little bit of black in there. Sometimes I'll cut out the dead silence. You know, the pauses, the awkward humming and hawing. But no, this is going to be more true to my original style, which was you get what you get. It's not always perfect, it's not always wonderful, but that's okay. It's okay. Malevolent Bob Ross, that's how one of my friends described me. Or not malevolent, ominous, foreboding, one of those. Everything will be okay. It is inevitable. Yeah, there we go. Actually, you know what? A lot of that. Ooh, that's not what I meant to do. Nope, that's not what I meant to do either. There we go. Because the one above it, or the one below it, is much darker. So it's not matching. It's not matching what's around it, which we need to fix. It's way too bright. It's way too bright. There we go. That's better. Yeah, there we go. That's looking a little more like what it's supposed to. Yeah. Oh, I will be sad to see Spooktober end. I've been enjoying it. I have been enjoying it so much. It is also exhausting. And it's given me ideas for more what I want to do next year or for future Spooktobers. But it's also good to come to an end. As with all things. We did our annual Death Week countdown. That is definitely going to be a recurring thing. And yeah, things have to end. There's beauty in impermanence. And it's important to be able to recognize that beautiful brevity. You know, a lot of this is based off of the Unis Honest channel, Memento Mori. And a lot of that is because of making the most of the time you have. That's part of why we do Spooktober, is to make the most of the time we have. And to not settle for complacency. To not be completely settled in where we're at. And not to not be comfortable with staying there. Whether that's doing a thumbnail for a video, whether that's doing different art styles, whether that's reaching out and doing collaborations with other YouTubers, whether that's doing videos with a different format, whatever it may be, to be uncomplacent. Recognizing what you're doing and why you're doing it. I like that they include random sounds like that. Because I will be the first to admit, I'm not perfect. You know, I have been struggling. I've got some friends who are really struggling right now. I love them dearly, and there's not much I can do directly. But I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that maybe they see some of what I'm doing here. They see me, knowing what they know about me as a person with crippling, devastating depression. And they see me still trying, still making the stuff I make, still taking the time I take to do things. And they think, okay, you know, I can't do a lot, but I haven't cleaned my desk in a couple days. I can clean my desk. I can listen to this idiot while I clean my desk. Or I haven't eaten anything healthy lately. I guess I can make that stupid bagel sandwich. Teaching people how to make a sandwich like people don't know how to make a sandwich. Fine, I'll make a stupid bagel sandwich, but it better be the best damn bagel sandwich I ever made. Yeah, this is okay. We're gonna be pretty happy with this. Pretty much as it is. What are we not going to be able to do this year? I don't think we're going to have time to do our branding video. We touched on some of that when we played with Danny the other day. He helped a lot. You'll notice that some of the channel page has improved a lot. But that said, it wasn't quite what we were going for, but it will help a lot. Can I say a lot anymore? A lot. I can say it a lot more, actually. But we didn't make our full, you know, banner, thumbnail, all that. I don't know that we're going to be able to get our intro video, our welcome video done. And that may be something we do not as part of Spooktober. Because we're about more than just Spooktober. All right, folks, what you think? Happy with it? I'm okay with it. It's not perfect, but I'm okay with it. Now, here's the thing. That looks pretty awesome. Yeah, you know what? We're going to have it like that, and then we're just going to copy this whole thing. Duplicate layer. And we're going to transform this. And we're actually going to put it underneath. Actually, cancel. Because we can just transform this one and then it's already underneath. Look at us thinking. Look at us thinking. And then all we have to do is say yes, apply transformation. And then in this one, we can eliminate that. Nope, not that. That. There we go. And we can also do a hard eraser on everything in here. Oh, no, not everything in here. Everything in here. Multiple layers. Oh, nope, just hard, nope. multiple layers, not all layers, just... Okay, well, we're going to figure out how to do this. It's fine. It's mostly the feather layer, so we can just look at the feather layer and erase that. Yeah. Almost like we know what we're doing. Almost. And then, here's the thing. We're going to do that again. Because the entire point... beans. Actually, we're going to undo everything we just did. I know. Crazy, right? Crazy. Absolute madness. Why would we undo everything we just did? Well, because the entire point of this was that we're going to be drawing this into a frame. Into a frame. Gray frame. Nope, not trying to cut the entire layer, just just the stuff behind. Oh, nope, that's, see? This is why we use extra layers. There we go. Let's try this one more time. One more time. Something like this, yeah. And everything behind gets erased. Because that is essentially the rectangle into which I am drawing. And now, we can delete this layer. And we can hold on. Okay, yeah. Now we can copy this. Yeah, okay. Duplicate layer. This is why it takes me so long, guys. Because sometimes you make mistakes while you're doing stuff. And then we can duplicate this one. And then we can transform that one. Because the entire point is that we're going for recursion. I'm all about recursion. Nope, not that one. Hold on. No. We want to transform the bottom one, you see. Did I mention this process can take a while? Especially if you don't really know what you're doing. Actually, no. So I'd like to be working on a different part every time, but There we go. Okay. Okay. And now this one gets duplicated. And then you know what we should do? We should save. Would not be the first time I've lost all my progress because my computer decided to crash while I was working on it. What? There we go. That was weird. There we go. Duplicate layer. And we're going to do this one more time. And then I think we're going to be satisfied enough. Because now, gosh, for editing layer only. Okay, well, so in this one, actually, we're going to need to go to this one. Don't want a vector eraser. I want can I erase multiple layers? That would be real cool. I can. Wait. Oh, it's only doing that. Fine. Well, we can still make this work. We're just going to grumble the whole time. Did I mention that this is a process? It's a process. It's a process. Because we're only going to see what's in the box. Yeah, that's what we're going for. That's what we're going for. That right there, that, as it turns out, is what we're going for. Nope, not that. Okay, where is it? There are some errant pixels. Okay, so we're good with that. Yeah, all right. Now let's see. We started roughly with the yeah, we did that. We actually just had it like that. Which means that was just like that, and it didn't have the quill. Oh, I guess I have to have the quill, otherwise it doesn't make sense, huh? Well, we gotta have something. Alright, that's fine. Glove. We can take out the glove. That's what we can do. And now, go all the way down here. We figure out which one we need to erase. This one. All right. We're near the end, my friends. We're both in this drawing shenanigans and in Spooktober itself. It's kind of spooky to think about, but that's where we're at. I know it's gonna be a big change going back to the normal. We're gonna be going back to Little King's Story, so we got to get that done. I love Little King's Story, but I really want to say I've beaten it. So we're gonna finish that up, and then we're gonna see where things lead us. I'm hoping that as part of our growth, I can do more collabs. I'd like to introduce like a even bi-monthly collab video. So I'll see if I can talk some of my compatriots into that. Perhaps some of my comrades. But yeah, so we're going to do that. I'd like to do more of the stuff I do that isn't just gameplay. Don't get me wrong, I love gameplay. I love games. I love stories. But that's not all I'm about. I want to help you guys do some basic stuff, like stuff that for me is really pretty easy because I've done it like my whole life. Oh no, what am I doing? Oh, that's the glove. Okay. Where are the bones? There's the bones. Found the bones. Okay. And then we go up a layer again. Get rid of that pesky border. Yeah, there we go. We just remember where we're drawing. This is some neat, like, jazz music. But yeah, like some basic housekeeping maintenance stuff. Stuff that maybe not everybody would know how to do. And my approach with that is the same as my approach with everything, which is, I mean, you can just kind of do stuff as it turns out. Very rarely do you need to go whole crazy on it. You can just kind of do stuff and make stuff better in your life. I think maybe we set transparencies down to make it darker at every layer. Make it even more recursion fading. Yeah. Fade to darkness. And then, as with all art, you should. I have not been doing good about this, my friends. With all art, you should sign it. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. Just something to... Just something to make sure that you know it's yours. Do an N for Nero. That'll be good. I don't know. I think I'm pretty happy with that. And so we're going to save this as a ping here. When you save it as a ping, layer information cannot be maintained. Yes. And that, my friends, is going to do it. Yeah. Hope you had some fun. Hope it was informative, if nothing else. And we will see you tomorrow. Only going to be a few more days that we can say that. But for now, my friends, farewell.